Well, sitting at the kitchen table here, and I thought I'd share some of the interesting bits of kit I've got here with me. This is a East German anti-personnel mine, a model which very, very common. It's the commonest model that was used on the border. We have here a rubber top, metal underneath, so it could be detected by normal mines. It would be set off by as little as 5 kilos weight on it. And now, if you're walking, an average person's around, what, 70, 75 kilos, something like that. If you're running, thing is, most people have 2 feet on the ground, so you haven't got 75 kilos on the ground all the time. You've got much less. It depends how you're moving as well. If you could weigh, for example, you could be on your front or something like that and pushing yourself along. In that case, the weight is considerably less for what is actually which this can actually pick up. A mine. So 5 kilos isn't much. Having said that, when it snows or something like that, you're going to get problems, and it could be that there's so much snow, there could be water underfoot or something like this, and it actually moves the mines. This, in many cases, is very, very problematical. Before the 1967 war in the Golan Heights, the Syrians didn't keep their mines under control, and they didn't know where the minefields were. Another problem was in the Falklands. The Argentinians didn't make proper maps, and the result is that still today, 28 years after the war, large parts of the islands cannot be used because there's a danger of mines. In this case, there's even been cases of mines actually turning up in West Germany because it got pushed under by the groundwater and what have you, under the border fence. That wasn't very common though. Until quite recently, comparatively recent, about 2004 was the last time I saw, there were still warning signs up on the border areas. There were still mines around, some of which had not been taken and collected. So there's that. Second thing is this. This is the East German version of a claymore mine. Originally it was 1970, there we are, get a better look at it like that, stood up in this direction, triggered by a wire. The spout is the area in which the pellets were fired from, and extremely dangerous. First tried out in Berlin. You could get a bird tripping the thing off by sitting on this part here, these metal bits sticking out. The result of that was that could trigger it off. The solution to this was to put some protection against at the top of it to stop so the birds came along, they wouldn't actually trigger the mine at all. Inside was packed with TNT and pellets. The pellets were at quite a long range, and these mines could be set at various heights to make sure that anybody who was escaping got blown up. Or actually destroyed by the mine. Sorry, not necessarily blown up, because you have to be really close to get blown up. But if you weren't killed, you'd have a nasty wound. As can be seen, it has been removed. Otherwise, I wouldn't be pointing it at myself. In the 80s, Strauss, then the head of Bavaria, the Bavarian president, rather right wing. I've forgotten his first name now, but he's no longer alive. Rather fat guy. Looked a bit like Goering in my opinion, but anyway, he did a deal with the East German government, which was the following, is that the Bavarian government supplied credits, but to get the credit, these mines had to be removed, and they were taken away from the border fences sometime 84, 85, something like that. Of course, they were placed with other things which were probably equally as deadly, but maybe not so potentially dangerous, because these things, depending on what was at the border itself, but I mean, animals would trigger them off, all sorts, very, very, it could even potentially kill people on the other side, depending on what type of fence was there. Obviously, if it was a breeze block concrete fence, there's protection, but if it could have been a mesh, in which case there may not have been. So, very nasty piece of equipment. You'd probably want to avoid that, and you'd probably want to avoid these ones as well.